On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on? A blessed and wonderful Tuesday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we go on in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps, the latest in the J-Frey and the 450 camp saga. Now, J-Frey has been released from the University Hospital of the West Indies. But guess what going on now? J-Frey has been arrested. He's presently in the custody of the police. No charges have been laid against either party, but J-Frey is now in the custody of the police. 450's producer, Javi Ambassador, is also in the custody of the police. And in late yesterday evening, we get to understand that a third person was also arrested by the police, who is not yet named, but remains in the custody of the police. So 3 persons are presently behind bars. So I'm pretty sure that soon and very soon, all of this are going to play out, and charges most definitely will be laid. Who will be charged? Who will be released? Let's see. Yeah, man. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about in the morning, my peeps, the troubled KPH car park right across the street from KPH. The police, them finally put them foot down where that is concerned with other entities. Now, the police states that they have implemented measures at the troubled car park across from the Kingston Public Hospital aimed at strengthening public safety. Now, as I can see, one police vehicle park right at the car park entrance. I mean, I know why KPH not really fix up the car park there properly, you know, and get the thing officially organized and run the right way. Now, as I can see, the police service vehicle was visibly observed parked in the area. Now, head of the Kingston Western Police, that's Senior Superintendent Brian Henry, emphasized that their presence remains strategic rather than fixed. So the parking lot is owned by KPH. And the latest move by the police follows at least 2 gun-related incidents in that particular parking lot since January. One resulted in a fatal knockings and clappings, which I spoke about. Now, according to the superintendent of police, the current approach is a concentrated one involving close collaboration between the Kingston Western Police and the Kingston Central Police Division. Now, this targeted strategy, they say, is designed to maintain flexibility whilst ensuring sustained coverage within the key zones. The police will also be prosecuting and displacing anyone found loitering within that particular area of the parking lot. And in addition to policing efforts, several safety enhancement initiatives have been rolled out through multi-agency partnership, which includes a collaboration with the Kingston Western Member of Parliament, we are talking about Desmond McKenzie, and also the KSAC and also the management of KPH. So among the measures undertaken is debushing the hospital car park and the sections nearby Luke Lane. So this activity is intended to improve visibility and to basically reduce opportunities for criminal activity. The police states that they might also collaborate with the hospital and put up some CCTV cameras. So that will definitely help the situation somewhat. But that car park need to be developed officially and have proper protocols set in place. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled St. Catherine North Police Division, where the St. Catherine North Police have since recorded a 30-year low in the first quarter so far. Yeah, man. Now, we're going to hear from the commanding officer of the St. Catherine North Police Division, that's Senior Superintendent of Police, Hopton Nicholson, as he weighs in on this one. Now listen.
We have been working tirelessly to develop strategies that are workable to cauterize the movement of criminals across the division and by extension Jamaica. We really wish the murders were zero, but I can report to you at this time we are almost 50% below last year when it comes to murder, and I can tell you for the first quarter of this year with 7 murders, it is the lowest in the past 3 decades, where St. Catherine North have single-digit murders for the first quarter. And I'm talking about just 8 years ago, the first quarter was like 52 murders. Our efforts included a number of initiatives which impacted community in many ways. We had our Peace in School ambassadors, where we identify individuals that have leadership potential within the schools, however they are a bit troubled. So we work with other stakeholders to get them on board and we turn them into student leaders. Our youth, academic and mentorship program. We launch a police youth club in Browns Hall. We have strategic workshop on anti-gang initiatives, treating with young people who are prone to gang violence, who have been exposed to it. We try to turn them away from it. So we have workshops focusing on those persons.
That was the voice of Senior Superintendent of Police, Hopton Nicholson, commanding officer for the St. Catherine North Police Division. He was also speaking at a church service in recognition of the 4th anniversary of the St. Catherine Justices of the Peace Association of Jamaica on Sunday. Now the next thing that I'm going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the Clarendon Police Division, where a Jamaican contractor and 8 Chinese nationals have been charged after the foreigners reportedly overstayed their time in Jamaica and worked in the country without a permit. Now, they were charged on Friday by detectives from the Transnational Crime Investigation Division, following a coordinated operation in Mineral Heights in Clarendon. The men have been charged with breaches of the Aliens Act and the Foreign Nationals and Commonwealth Citizens Act. Now, the contractor is said to be a 39-year-old Chinese, identified as Lee Gale, who is said to be a naturalized Jamaican contractor residing in Tollgate, Clarendon. He faces 8 counts of aiding and abetting the employment of persons without work permits. The 8 Chinese nationals have each been charged with overstaying and working without a work permit. They are 39-year-old, Chinese name, 46-year-old, Chinese name, 51-year-old, Chinese name, 39-year-old, Chinese name, and 39-year-old Chinese name, and a 50-year-old with a Chinese name, a 57-year-old with a Chinese name, and a 40-year-old with a Chinese name. Me not try cuss nobody would pan the program. I try to pronounce them the name there. So just know say I just 8 Chinese man, various ages with them Chinese name. Now, according to the police reports, sometime between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m., The police reportedly conducted an intelligence-led operation to identify potential victims of human trafficking. A search warrant was executed at a construction site on Mineral Heights Main Road in Clarendon, during which the team found 8 men from a place in China working at the site. The Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, that's PICA, later confirmed that all 8 men had exceeded their permitted stay on the island. Further interviews conducted with an interpreter revealed that the men had been recruited in China to work for the Chinese national who is also a naturalized Jamaican citizen. Yeah, man. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is in relation to knockings and clappings that took place in the Trelawny Police Division, where it is stated that a 13-year-old boy was conned up, seriously so, by a police officer. The police report suggests that a firearm was recovered from the scene. Now the 8th grade student has been hospitalized with life-threatening injuries to his kidney and intestine after he was reportedly conned up by a policeman during an incident. But his family are refuting the claims of the officer and stating that the knockings and clappings was unprovoked. The 13-year-old Cedric Titus student, who was on the rooftop of a bar adjoining to his home in Riobuno in Trelawny on Sunday night, when an uniformed police officer inside the venue fired a single can-out-time weapon which struck the 13-year-old in the abdomen area. It is stated that when him get conned up, he ran towards his mother and stated that, "Mommy, me get shot." He was conned up in the stomach, as I stated earlier, and up to late Monday, that's yesterday, there was an urgent plea for the much needed red substance to be pumped back in his body. Now, it is stated that his kidneys and his intestine are damaged and that they are in need of 16 bags of blood for him. The aunt of the now injured teen states that the policeman claimed that after the knockings and clappings, he saw a firearm, but she disputed that assertion. Now, the Independent Commission of Investigation have confirmed yesterday that it is presently probing that particular incident. So my peeps, another controversial police knockings and clappings. Boy, may I tell you, my peeps, the thing rough, but anyway, make we continue. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled St. James Police Division, where the St. James Police are now reporting a slight uptick in fatal knockings and clappings by the hands of the criminal elements. Now we're going to hear from the commanding officer, that's Superintendent Aaron Samuels, addressing a meeting of the St. James Municipal Corporation last Tuesday. Now listen.
As it stands, the division, I believe, is still in good stead. We are seeing a slight increase. We have brought the numbers down. We are seeing a slight increase in incidents. We are still battling with the domestic disputes and those interactions causing incidents. As it stands now, we're at 18 murders compared to 17 last year. So we are one over where we were last year, which was an extremely good year. We are implementing some curfews and doing some operational activities in order to cauterize that. And we have had about 4 to 5 major incidents out of this, and it's stemming from a dispute. Not a gang situation, but it involves gangsters. But we are trying our best to see how we can put our police in the right places, and we are trying to some interventions ensure that the community itself can feel safe and secure as it is. So going into this weekend, we will be doing a lot of work within the space.
Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is that the JCF, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, is now reporting a slight uptick in murders across not one, but 6 divisions. So at least 6 police divisions are showing slight uptick in murders since the start of the year. And that's according to the latest crime statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Now we are going to hear from a nationwide correspondent, Jaii Frais, who has been tracking this data. Now listen.
20 murders were recorded over the last 2 weeks. It brings to 150 the number of homicides recorded up to April 11. That's 55 fewer than the 205 people killed when compared with the corresponding period in 2025. The figure represents an overall decline of nearly 27%. But of the country's 19 police divisions, 6 are showing a slight uptick. They are Hanover, St. Elizabeth, St. James, Manchester, Clarendon, and Kingston Eastern. A combined 21 more people have been killed across the 6 divisions when compared to the same period in 2025. The Trelawny division stands steady, recording 3, the same number as last year's review period. The JCF says, like murder, other major crimes continue to trend downwards. Shootings are down nearly 38%. Rape is also down 14%, robbery at 20%, while break-ins are down almost 19%.
Now the last thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, we're going to hear from the Justice Minister, that's Delroy Chuck, who says that the practice of gang members extorting vulnerable individuals in the society must come to a complete stop. Minister Chuck was speaking at a church service in recognition of the 4th anniversary of the St. Catherine Justices of the Peace Association of Jamaica on Sunday. Minister Chuck called for a collaborative approach from stakeholders in the community to include the Justices of the Peace and the police in reducing criminal activities across the communities. Now we're going to hear from Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, as he weighs in on this one. Now listen.
Justice of the Peace, we want to get rid of all the gangs in Jamaica, because if we don't do it, every single one, they could flourish like in Haiti. We're in Haiti. It is the gangs who run the country, and we must never allow any gang to run any community in St. Catherine or Jamaica. And I know the police are determined to ensure that gangs stop extorting from bus drivers, bus conductors, those little people on the street who are selling in the markets. They have to pay extortion money. Are you aware of that? And we must cut it out. These are people who are struggling to make a living for their families. And these rogues feel that they can benefit from their lawful activity. So I'm asking you, Justice of the Peace, and everyone here in St. Catherine, we want St. Catherine, like all Jamaica, to be a peaceful and harmonious place. But it cannot be if persons are engaged in any form of wrongdoing. So we must cut out any form of wrongdoing and make sure we can bring Jamaica to a place where we're all proud of. We can get there, but every single one of us must play our part as we make Jamaica the place that we want to live, work.
So whilst I am in total agreement with Minister Delroy Chuck, let us not forget how all of this started. It is just funny to see that politicians from both political divides, the JLP and the PNP alike, are now suddenly against the very gangsters that some of them, they themselves created, or the persons who they took over from created themselves. And Jamaica, believe it or not, we are now seeing this because they have gotten out of control. No longer are the criminal elements controlled by the political spoils, meaning their money. Because some of these criminal elements are now funding the political parties. Them have more money than them. So you have to control me and me have more money than you can help support you in power, help put you in power. So that's the thing boiled down to right now. So the fact that they are uncontrollable, the persons that basically created the problem, I try to get rid of it. Boy, I tell you. This is for a whole another discussion, but anyway, big up yourself, Minister Chuck. We agree with you 110%. Cannot allow gangsters to run rogue in the streets and prey upon the nation's most vulnerable. Jaja God, it's rough. But anyway, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.